Kipp, pleasure to welcome you to the show today. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm pumped to be here.
Yeah, no, excited to have you here. The source of it all, I feel like, because today, we're talking about marketing, how it's transforming right now, shifting day to day, it seems. So, Kipp, first I want to start with, you've said that inbound marketing is being disrupted. It's
Sure.
fundamentally changing, and I understand that you have a new solution for that. But first, what convinced you and HubSpot that it was time to get in there and create an entirely new marketing playbook?
Yeah, so if you think about marketing and what are the big catalysts for change in marketing is marketing has to change when consumer behavior changes, right? When the things that people do in, day out change, and that change is normally precipitated by a bunch of technology change. And so there's a few things that happened. One, you had social media and email newsletters and all of the things that we take for granted now have grown significantly over the last few years. It's why we bought the hustle. It's why we did a bunch of the stuff that we've done. Then you had the ChatGPT moment. You had ChatGPT come out and upend traditional search, upend how people research, get information, find answers. It used to be that answers were scarce. ChatGPT comes along, answers are plentiful. And those are the things that have happened to say, wow, how people behave today is very different than people behaved 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And marketers and businesses need to adapt to that new world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you hit on something specifically important there about AI, right? Tons of articles I've been seeing week to week have been about, oh, SEO is dead, SEO is ruined, and now we have to move towards an AI model for everything. Google is getting 60% less click-throughs when you Google something nowadays. So how is that changing the traditional marketing funnel, kind of on a more specific level? What are you seeing marketers having to pivot?
Yeah, so I think the shape of the marketing funnel has changed dramatically. If you look at the kind of traditional inbound marketing funnel, what happened was, in awareness, that very, very tippity top was kind of okay. But it wasn't the easiest thing to go out and help somebody be aware of your company or your product. But what was really good was the visit stage, getting people to come to your website, because what you could do is create content for Google for important topics that there wasn't great answers to out on the internet, and people would find your answers and they'd come and they'd read your content, and a percentage of those people would explore your services, your products, and become customers. And that was a transformational moment in marketing and in business. And what's happened now is that getting those visits is much harder. You were just sharing some of the stats that the click-through rates on Google, because of AI overviews and AI mode, have gone way down. Those click-through rates are similarly a lot lower for things like ChatGPT or Perplexity, people using those tools for search.
Oh, yeah.
What we've seen in our own data is the quality of the visits, though, coming from this new AI search is much higher. That, for example, like for us, we've seen early visits from ChatGPT become customers at 13x higher of a conversion rate than traditional search engines. Because they think about it, you can have such a deep interaction and back and forth with AI that you can really get a more personalized recommendation versus just like going and reading an article. And so that is really at the core of this AI search transformation. It's just the access to information has changed dramatically. It used to be that the company had all of the information and it would kind of leave breadcrumbs for a potential customer. Now, a customer largely has all of the same information a company has, and so that has upended how people think of traditional marketing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really left customers, I think, with more power, right? They're able to
Completely.
get answers so quickly instead of, I love the way you put it, with instead of just following that breadcrumb trail to the final destination. Instead, they get immediately to the final destination. And what's better for your day or your time than getting your answer immediately and getting what you need fast, right?
Once ChatGPT came along, we entered into a new era of information symmetry when buying. We lived in this world of asymmetry where people, the buyer and the seller didn't have the same information. Now the buyer and the seller has the same information. And because of that, it can be much more efficient and you can have a much more customized experience because all that information. It also means that the companies who are very public with their information, their pricing, their products, and kind of live, work, and operate in public are going to be more successful because their information is going to be more readily accessible to the buyer and to the AI agents who are helping and facilitating that buyer's research.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we kind of expand this idea of, marketing is changing, can you tell me about the foundational idea behind loop marketing, this new sort of phase that you're entering right now?
Yeah. So for folks who are not familiar, at HubSpot we just launched a new marketing playbook that we call loop marketing. And about 15 years ago, we created inbound marketing, which is a whole different way to think about marketing, kind of for the Web 2.0 era. And millions of businesses adopted inbound marketing and saw great success from it. And now inbound marketing is necessary, but it's no longer sufficient. It's not enough to be successful to just do inbound marketing. You need a new playbook for this post-AI era. We're calling it loop marketing. And loop marketing is basically how you use AI to supercharge your marketing. The thing I will tell you, John, is that everybody that I talk to that does marketing, it's the same conversation. My CEO wants me to use AI and make our marketing better. That's it. Like that in some flavor, that's the summary of every conversation I have with anybody doing marketing. Then the follow-on questions are: what tools do I use? What tactics do I use? What prompts do I use? What agents do I use? I don't even know where to start. And so we put together loop marketing, which is a simple 4-step framework to take all of the confusion and uncertainty out of that problem and make it really easy for somebody who might not be an AI nerd like me to go and use AI at every step of their marketing.
Guys, with the launch of Loop Marketing, Kipp's given you the ultimate prompt library. Over 100 AI prompts that walk you through each stage of the loop marketing method. They're designed to help you spot growth opportunities in an AI world. This isn't just another collection of prompts. It'll guide you into the new era of marketing. You can get it for free at the link in our show notes. Seriously, stop right now, look at those show notes, and tap that link. Yeah, and I've noticed with loop marketing, what I really appreciate about it is that it's not only hammering home the use AI part of things, which obviously that's a big part of it where we are right now, but I really appreciated the kind of human aspect and how critical that is. Can you expand a little bit more upon that, about the human aspect of marketing in an AI world now?
Yeah, the best marketing that's going to get done today, tomorrow, next year, over the next 5 to 10 years is going to be done with humans and AI working really well together. If you just want to just one shot and type some stuff into AI and do marketing, that's going to be AI slop. It's going to be bad. The same thing, if you are just going to not use AI at all, you're not going to be able to get feedback fast enough, ideate fast enough, improve your conversion rates through personalization, all the things that we're talking about with loop marketing. So if you look at loop marketing, we have 4 simple stages. The first is, how do you go from an idea to like an asset or a campaign? And AI is really good at that. It can give you some ideas. It can tell you what your customers or your prospects would think of those ideas and help you create first draft of those ideas. And so you can go from an idea to like an asset or a campaign way faster than ever before. Minutes or hours versus days or weeks is the kind of shift that's happening there. The next part that's happening here is what we call tailoring. The big thing of artificial intelligence is that funnel change I was talking about. Wow, it's a lot harder to get visits, but it's easier to convert those visits into customers because you can personalize really well with AI. AI is really good at guessing and inferring what somebody on a one-to-one basis may want. So tailoring is like taking a marketing asset that might be for everybody and making it just for you or just for me with the help of AI. It's like, instead of buying a suit at a department store, it's like you're going to a tailor and they're making a suit just for you. There's a very big difference in what that suit looks like, feels like, fits like in that equation. And that's what we're talking about doing here. The next stage of our playbook is all around amplification. And it's how do you take that personalized, tailored asset and get it out into the world. And we talked a little bit already about AEO, or AI engine optimization. And that's like the biggest disruption for amplification. But you also have influencer marketing becoming a more important channel than ever. personalized email marketing and SMS marketing becoming way more important. Like we could spend an hour just on all of the different channels, but the way to think about it is there's very new AI playbooks to get your message out, and AEO being one of the new primary channels to do that. And then the last thing you do is what we call evolve. You get that stuff live, you get it out to people, and you get data, and you use AI to help you look at the data in real time to get insights of what you could have done better so that you can improve your campaign or your assets in real time, and you can improve them for the next round that you want to do. And that's what we're trying to do, is help people have a very specific playbook that they can go and leverage in this new world.
Yeah, that's an exciting thing to have, right? Especially right now, it's very, very topical. It's very, very in the now, with people looking to have these techniques in order to expand their marketing tactics into the new modern world and environment that we're in right now online. And kind of given that everything is shifting so fast, I'm wondering from you, how much time do you think is going to pass until you need to revise or update or change these things as well?
Yeah, so I think what's interesting, if you look at marketing throughout the years, whether it be traditional marketing and Michael Porter and the 4Ps, whether it be inbound marketing, whether it be sub aspects of inbound marketing like social media or content marketing, for example, what happens is that I think playbooks and frameworks are pretty durable. So like I think this like loop marketing, the stages and the framework for how to think about marketing in this new world, very durable. What's going to change are kind of the tactics underneath each of them, right? Sure. Like artificial intelligence engine optimization is going to be vastly different a year from now than it is today. And there's going to be a whole host of different things that companies have to do, for example. The ability to personalize, and personalize not just text, but video and audio and imagery is going to get way better over the next 12 to 24 months. And so you're going to see the kind of tactics change, and it's our job at HubSpot, along with lots of other great thought leaders in the market, to help people understand what that change looks like and how they need to evolve. But I think the frameworks are pretty consistent. They're pretty durable for kind of like the 10 plus year time horizon.
Yeah. And last thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the just an applicable idea maybe you can help me out with of
Please,
personalization, right?
Yeah.
Like when you think of personalization, what does that look like to you? How have you seen maybe HubSpot or other companies doing this already and being able to customize their messaging for people actively looking for them?
Yeah. Have you ever watched The Hot Ones? The podcast,
yes.
The Hot Ones?
Yes.
Okay. It's fairly culturally popular, but you gotta check. The interesting thing about The Hot Ones, right, is he always has some questions in there that are like the how did you know that question?
Right.
Like, oh, you really know me to be able to ask me that question.
Right.
And
I spoke to your third grade elementary school
teacher, exactly.
And,
right.
She said this, right.
And what you find in really good marketing is it's very similar to that. It's, can you gather the right data and the right information about your audience and your community? And by the way, the more you interact with them, the more content you provide them, the more data you're going to get around what they really like. And then AI is going to be able to use that very unique data to give them a very personalized message. And so at HubSpot, that's what we're doing. Like from an email marketing perspective, we are taking insights about that person's job, the problems they're trying to solve, what's going to help them and their business be more successful, what's going to help them in their career. And we're able to create and write bespoke messages around that information that's kind of unique one-to-one. And we've seen our conversion rates grow from like 100 to 400% because that message is just way more relevant than the like personalization token kind of flat canned message that has kind of been prominent over the last decade.
Right. Yeah, no, that totally checks out. It's about making that strong connection with the consumer based on a specific personal message. And I'm very excited to see a lot of brands continuing to do that. Selfishly, for the brands that I like, continuing to do that and considering to pull me in and pull in customers that way. So yeah, really exciting future we got ahead of us. And Kipp, thank you so much for joining me to chat about it and get into the weeds here.
Thanks so much for having me. This has been a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Of course. Okay, that's going to do it for us today, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of HubSpot Media. Our editor is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We've got a ton more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go sign up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at thehustledaily. We'll catch you later.